All right, I'll get to some injuries here in a sec, but I just want to highlight our football team. You think back to how this goes back a long way when you're preparing for your first opportunity, and you go out to a football game and really see a lot of throughout the four quarters of the football game. You see a lot of what these players have put in really long before training camp started, but as over the last month and a half or so, just building up to this moment. Really proud of our team. There was some early adversity. There was a lot of self-inflicted, some football we've got to clean up from a penalty standpoint. Hated seeing putting the ball on the ground early with how much we emphasize it. But of all, I can promise you, Vikings fans, C.J. Ham is, there's nobody I trust more on this football team than him, and didn't even think twice about that moving forward. I knew we would respond. Defensively, there's just I don't know what you can say other than it was just an unbelievable performance out of that group. Flo, his staff, all of our players. There's a ton of guys to highlight. Obviously, Andrew Van Ginkel. I think you saw a little bit of everything with Gink, from the sack to the instincts to make the interception on the screen, and then to go along with his 4 tackles. Harrison Smith, 7 tackles and an interception, and it was great to see Dallas Turner get his first career sack. Just thought offensively, Sam Darnold, for a guy in a new system, to start 12 for 12 and be incredibly poised throughout the day. Huge performance for us to be able to build off with Sam, and then really felt the impact of Aaron Jones. Tried to get him over 100 there late, but wanted to be smart about him as well. On the last, I told him he would get one more shot at it, but huge impact, over 6,000 yards for his career is a pretty special number. Very proud of our team. It's one game, 1-0. We've got to go right back to work and get ready to open up US Bank Stadium against one of the best teams in the NFL.
Was there one throw in particular that impressed you from Darnold?
I thought there was a couple. I thought even the seam ball to Josh Oliver from under center, trying to take advantage of a look, trying to see if I could manufacture an easy throw but an explosive throw with that play, and he just absolutely drilled it. And then I thought, on the 99-yard drive, which I know it's been a while since we did that, I just thought that throw to Justin was remarkable, to be able to lean on the quarterback in that moment to activate your best player, and for his trust and just a lot of time on task with those two building up. I mean, that's a really big time play in that moment to really set the stage for us to go down the field and come away with 7 when a team gets you backed up 99 yards like that. So I just thought there was examples of that throughout the game. There's a ton of things offensively we can clean up. There's a ton of things, even with our communication. First time out the gates, though, for him to play the way he did, poised, and then for us to be able to lean on the run game a little bit with a lead and churn out some first downs, I thought was really impactful for us. So really means absolutely nothing moving forward other than we're 1-0 and we accomplished the only thing we've really talked about, which is starting the season 1-0.
Kevin, how much was that Naylor touchdown like the exact intent of what you guys wanted to happen on that play?
Pretty much the exact intent of what I wanted to have happen on the play. I felt like there was, between kind of what, there's always a little bit of early trying to figure out kind of coverage intentions with Justin, and Jordan got some double teams today as well. There were some times on some of those third downs where both those guys were doubled and we needed to try to make a play elsewhere. But yeah, that was great setup of the play. You worry sometimes about sending different motions and things in the noise and silent cadence and getting it snapped. But I think it goes right along with kind of just the performance Sam had that will be really something we can build off of. But I'm really proud of him. I'm really talking about Speedy, first career touchdown, or at least first career he scored before, but first touchdown this year. And the way his practice week was like, Alec, he didn't get a whole lot of work. So to be able to be relied upon in that moment was really cool. And there's just a lot of things we'll build off of. There's a lot of things we'll clean up. It's good to clean up your first game when you're able to find a way to win.
Kevin, what is the update with Jordan Addison?
Yeah, thank you for the reminder. He did get an ankle. It was his other ankle than the one he's kind of had. We're going to have him fully evaluated. Don't know the severity of it yet, but Jordan made some big plays for us early on there, and then to lose him kind of affected a little bit of the flow there in the second half. But hopefully, it'll be a shorter-term thing. I do not have any real update other than he did not return. Bradbury missed a few, possibly could have missed a few snaps, but we were able to get him transitioned and turned over with a knee. And then Van Ginkel, we just kind of held him out there late, just kind of precautionary thing, but he should be fine.
Is that a foot injury from the offseason?
Yeah.
With Andrew Van Ginkel, it seemed like he was everywhere today.
Yeah, I know sometimes I try to give you guys as much clarity on a player's role as possible. That's a really hard one to do. You guys can see it with, it's not only just the impactful plays that touch the stat sheet, it's really, just the feel, the presence, the confidence. He's a major part of the communication. We can overload him so that we can let other people play fast around him, and then just the instincts. He just does not get enough credit for just the problem he is diagnosing plays. It's almost, Mike Linebacker-esque how he can diagnose things, but he's playing on the ball most of the time and having to do that with a heck of a lot less time and space to make those plays. And just thought that was, I kind of had a joke with him when we first signed him that I expected him to find the end zone this year. I did not know it was going to be the first game, which was pretty spectacular.
In terms of set the tone for the season?
Well, I think it sets the tone and puts a period on the sentence of let's prepare the right way for training camp. Let's have a mindset and a discipline and a confidence every single day to build towards a collective effort to win a football game. And because that's what this season is. It's about playing good football as consistently as you can. And like I said, there's some things to clean up. There's a lot of positives that will show up on the tape, but there's no doubt momentum is a real thing in this league, and confidence. There's nothing like going out, on a Sunday at an NFL stadium and winning a game, by a significant margin. And I just think our guys, there's nobody in that locker room surprised, shocked that we went out there and executed. I think it's just a confirmation of a lot of work that's been put in. Now, I've been talking to these guys a lot about the discipline. Discipline is not wave your finger and tell somebody they did something wrong. It's how do you show up every single day and be the same guy for the guy next to you, coaches and players included, that leads to consistency. Because we've got a tough early part of the season with our schedule. We're gonna attack every single week. Excited to get back to US Bank Stadium. Felt like US Bank a little there late in the game with the Skull Chance, and one of my favorite things about this job is our fans always show up.
This was the kind of game that Jet fans had hoped to see from Sam. Can you speak to what the experience and maturity now comes forward that you can see for what he's been through and how he's progressed?
Yeah, some of the folks I get to speak to quite often, they know I've talked a lot about the quarterback journey, and quarterbacks in our league don't get to control a lot of that journey, and they're expected to perform in some cases immediately. I've just always I really like the way Sam carries himself. He's a talented player. He can make big-time throws. Every throw we're going to ask him to make, he's more than capable of doing that. And then he's a great example of what this last month and a half has really been like, preparing in a way that will show up on a Sunday. There's, a lot of things that Sam, will probably come in here and say he can do better, but I can tell you starting 12 for 12 and having the presence, to help overcome that early adversity comes directly from the quarterback position. And that's probably why his teammates viewed him as a captain and almost unanimously voted him one. I can't say enough about what he was able to do and how excited I am to build on his performance today, moving forward.
With that said, how much does this sort of set him up for future success? He's been saying he feels very supported by you guys in the locker room, but at some point you actually have to demonstrate.
Exactly.
And I'm just curious how you feel like that kind of sets things up moving forward.
Yeah. I think it's just one of those things, Kevin, that like our football team as a whole, I don't think our guys are surprised that we're able to come here and get a win in a tough road environment. But I also would pair that with, I don't think anybody's surprised that Sam Darnold played the way he did today. I know I'm certainly not. I I've tried to foreshadow as much as I could throughout training camp. So I'm just proud of him, and Sam will be the first one to tell you it's time to go back to work and get ready for a really, really good Niners team next week at home.
Kevin, that deep ball to Justin,
Yep.
What makes that such an impressive throw to you?
Well, not to get too far into the details here, week one of a play that was a big time play in that moment. It's just the feel. It's just the understanding of Justin is unique, how he can do things at full speed and change direction and kind of have total body control. But the quarterback, a lot of times, it can also throw the quarterback off as far as, hey, where's he taking this? What kind of angle is he coming out of? And we are kind of near the shadow of our own end zone at that moment. Got great protection and threw an absolute strike. And it's something that I kind of saw Justin's face after that drive when we finished it, and I think he felt pretty darn good about who's throwing him the football.
You guys talked a lot about Aaron Jones this offseason, your excitement to add him to the offense. Now, actually seeing it, what does that do for you as a play caller to have a guy who can make people miss in open space and really just get what's blocked consistently?
Yeah, I mean, what you're going to see out of Aaron, no matter what the concept we call, he's going to make things come to life. I mean, he's got an ability in his body and the experience of, like I said, over 6,000 yards in his career. This guy can make things happen for you in the run game. And when you can get people covered up and, figure out kind of front structures and how we can try to give him a head start to hopefully get through the initial surge and initial line of scrimmage, he's not going to get tackled by the first defender very often. And we'll continue to explore ways of we had some things, that we didn't get to today with Aaron, but he's going to be a major, major part of our offense and somebody I can really rely on. And that's not even talking about, how excited his teammates and his Minnesota Vikings family was for me to give him a game ball.
Kevin, on the red zone specifically with Aaron Jones, he's obviously had a lot of success there over his career. How does that change things for you as a play caller, knowing his ability to finish?
Yeah, I think you saw an example of that with him bouncing, his first touchdown there. I think it's just things happen fast down there, and you rely on vision. You rely on guys understanding the feel of the blocking combinations in front of them. And as people kind of attach to blocks, sometimes it declares, and it's, milliseconds that you've got to make a decision to then have a chance to gain leverage on the outermost defender. And in that play, particularly when he bounced it, and then it's a race to the goal line. So you're talking about vision, feel, and then acceleration and burst to go finish the play. Was a great example of what he's going to bring to our team.
Kevin, you mentioned the early adversity with the fumble. Just how big of a stretch was that to hold him a field goal and then march down the next possession?
Yeah, I've told our team, many, many times, just because we do all the things right to prepare, just because we talk about ball security every single day, we rep things every single day, that means absolutely nothing. We have to be able to come out and demonstrate those things in an NFL game. And, it was unfortunate. You kind of felt, a less mentally tough team might have said, here we go again. But the next time we touched it, we went down the field and scored. So I would like to see the elimination of some of those early penalties, setting us back behind the chains. But that's when your quarterback can bail you out by going 12 for 12 to start the day, kind of alleviates the stress of that. But we've got to be more consistent and cleaner in our execution for sure to avoid getting penalties.
We'll have Sam Darnold shortly, the locker room is
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.